Welcome to Outlaw Woodworking. Today it's all about the Tile-Redi Shower Walls. Now I did a video on how to install the shower pan, which they're really easy to install. But today it's going to be all about installing the walls. And I decided to go with the Tile-Redi because they're just everything that I've learned about them. They're a really solid product. They're super. They're lightweight, so it's not like I remember in the old days we used to haul around the cement boards, and they're just so heavy and awkward. Now this is I ordered 2 different kits for both bathrooms, and they come with the silicone, and they come with a little instruction thing, but there's not much to it. You're basically just siliconing them straight down to your shower pan. And yeah, super easy. Measure the length of the longest splash wall. Measure the ready wall bulb, mark, cut, desired measurement. If less than 60 inches in width, if the shower pan is wider than 60 inches, additional boards will be needed. But this is basically a kit for my size shower. So I'm gonna go up to we're gonna go up to and get a few measurements of the walls, make sure that they're nice and plumb. And then we'll come down and cut a few pieces and we'll start installing this shower. Here you got the special sealant, and I'm gonna make sure that I have enough cut that I'm ready to do all the pieces. Anyway, yeah, let's get started.
There he goes, it's a working man. He's trying to make a living any way he can. And he'll break his back for $1 or $2. Oh, there ain't no shame in what he do. Oh, work it out.
Okay, right off the bat, I thought it would be a lot easier just to go up and measure the walls and mark them and cut everything on my table saw. And it cut super smooth, really easy to cut, not a lot of dust. Of course, I had my shop vac on, but it really cut super clean and easy. The material is super structurally, it's lightweight. It's almost like a foam material that you can't really break it very easily. Yeah, so I cut everything. It was just easier to cut all the pieces and down in my shop. And basically, I had a couple little notches to do, so I used my jigsaw, and it just cut like butter. Really easy to. It's almost like drywall, but tough. Like you can't really. You could snap it, but it has really good compression. Like I saw guys actually rolling on it with a forklift, and it didn't even compress. I'll see if I could add that video. But yeah, I just go through, and the biggest thing is to basically get all your pieces ready ahead of time, especially your bottom pieces, because you're going to be setting them down into a bead of silicone on the top of your shower base. And basically what I did was I just double checked that I had everything ready, and then I put a nice big thick bead on top of the shower pan, and I did the back wall first and set it right down in there, and then just started screwing it off. These shower walls, I mean, of course floating, it's different when you float a shower, but I think these Tile-Redi showers walls are really the way to go. I'm just using regular powder coated drywall screws to screw this on, and then basically eventually I silicone over all of them, and then I use a little plastic spreader. Actually, I think they gave that to me with the kit, but I ruined it on the first shower. It needed to be cleaned, but yeah, you basically you put a bead of silicone down, and put a bead down on the corner wall too, and then silicone these things together, and they're rock solid basically. The silicone is really tough. The stuff they give you, I'm not sure what it's made out. I'm sure it's some kind of silicone, but it's tougher than a normal silicone. It's the adhesive properties seem to be a little more than normal. Now, what I will say is, I think in this bathroom, I accidentally screwed a screw into a nail plate. Now, it didn't go through the nail plate, but it pulled the Tile-Redi shower wall out, because the Tile-Redi shower wall was so tough that it actually it cracked it a little bit, and that showed me that the actual material that they're using here is really strong for it. Because normally, like if you're screwing drywall onto a plumbing wall or something and you hit a nail plate, it'll just strip out and it won't go in. But in this case, it actually pulled on the material, so I think the holding power, once you got it screwed onto your walls, is incredible. So basically, I'm just going through and making sure these things are as straight as possible. I'm adding a few shims in this bathroom. And yeah, silicone. And I just used a regular hole saw to drill the holes, and that worked really well. Yeah, you can tell me what you think in the comments, but I think it came out really nice. I think it's going to be really easy to apply tile to this. And if you do your shimming really good, you're going to have a lot easier time when you go to set your tile. Now, this video obviously is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not a professional tile setter. I'm just a guy building a house by himself. And basically, after I set these shower walls, it's time to drywall. I got all my inspections ready to go, and it was going to be time to get this thing drywalled. But yeah, I'm just, they say to put a screw every 12 inches, I think. But on the perimeters, I put a few more going down the perimeters of them. And this is a spliced piece right here. And what I did was, they say to make sure your splices are big. So I put about a 16-inch splice right there, maybe more, 18 inches. And then I basically siliconed it really tight to the other wall. Right there you can see I'm doing a lap. So you put your upper lap, you lap your next piece down onto it, and you just put a bead of silicone on there, and it works out pretty good. If you do have to join them, like right there, I've got a short piece, and I'm gonna basically put a little piece on the end. You just silicone them together, just like that, and yeah, there's no problem with that at all. The really cool thing is where you get your most failures in showers is the shower pan. And because this is a one-piece shower pan, you don't have no screw holes into the shower pan at all. It's basically in a bed of cement. You really are less likely to have any water problems from this. And then of course, you want to make sure after you've got it all installed and screwed off, go around and silicone. I put another bead of silicone in all the corners and on all the screws, and just did a little extra. But yeah, I think it's a really easy product to use. I like the fact that when you're cutting it, it's not throwing a bunch of dust at you. Like when you use the cement boards, I mean, shit, if you've done that before, the experience of that. And so basically, I'd have to give this a thumbs up. Now right there, you can see I'm joining two pieces, so I'm putting some silicone to silicone them together. And yeah, I'd have to give this stuff a thumbs up. It's really easy to use, and for a guy like me that's a do-it-yourselfer, it's way better than trying to float a shower. And in the old days, we always hot mop. I had a hot mopper that hot mopped the bottoms of the shower, and then I had a tile guy that he usually floated all the showers. But I see a lot of guys, they're starting to use this. I think where I found out about it was on YouTube. There was a guy called Tile Coach or something like that, and I think he must be sponsored by these guys. But he's done a lot of jobs with this stuff, and I watched a few of his jobs, and they really came out clean. So yeah, I'd have to say that I would use this again, especially the shower pans. Now, if I did another bathroom, I'd probably do it with an even bigger pan. These pans are pretty good size. They're 60 by 30. I think they're 3 feet by 6, 3 by 5s, which is fine. But I know that they started making bigger ones, like 4 by 5s. And right here, I'm actually, this is how basically I get the shower valve. In my case, I got a shower valve, and then I also got a diverter because I have a rain head and then a regular shower wand. And actually, this piece right here is actually the cutout for the shampoo holder, and we're going to be using the stainless steel shampoo holders, and I'll show you a picture of what we're going to use. Actually, I found them on Amazon, and I'm hoping that they turn out pretty cool. They'll be easy to use, and you just set them in there after you're done tiling. And I'm just using hole saw bit to drill the holes for the shower valves, and it was super simple. I was lucky and kind of hit these two first try. But yeah, I just brought everything. I just walked down to my shop and cut all the pieces, and then walked back up to the house and installed them. And it really went. I think it went really well, actually. The biggest problem I have is I like to make sure everything's level, and I'm not perfect, but I try. That's an important part of construction, is trying to get everything plumb and level, and the more effort you put into that, the better off you'll be in the end. Because each layer in construction, like if the foundation guy starts off crooked, then the framing guy has to fix his framing to get it straight. And if the framing guy is crooked, then the drywall is shimming all the walls, and then it just goes on and on. But I don't have anybody to blame but myself, because I'm building this little house by myself, and really I've only hired two people so far. I had some concrete finishers on the day of the pour for the foundation, just because it was kind of a lot for one guy to try to pump it all into the foundation. And then I hired the spray foam guys to do the spray foaming. And then I'm going to hire a drywaller, because there's no way I'm going to drywall this by myself. For one, I'd hate doing drywall, and I can hang drywall fine, but as far as taping and texturing, I'm really bad. Anyway, yeah, we're kind of finishing up we had 2 showers to do, and it didn't take very long to do these. Probably took longer to make sure the walls were all straight than it did to hang all the pieces. And I like the way it cuts. It cuts really easy, and it seems pretty tough. Let me know if you've used this product before and what you think of it. This is actually my first time using it, and I'd give it a thumbs up, for sure. Yeah, I'm just using regular powder coated screws, and they're holding really tight. Like I said, don't drill. If you have a bunch drilled already and you hit a nail plate, it's gonna pull on that material. And I learned that the hard way. Yeah, this video is probably too long for such a simple product. but I think I'm almost done here. It's really easy to cut too. I used a regular drywall little handheld saw to cut out this little soap or shampoo holder area, and it cuts pretty easy. It's a little tougher than drywall as far as cutting, but it will cut with one of these little saws. And yeah, I was pretty impressed with the way the lap joints work on them too. It seemed really well. And this one, both showers are going to get these stainless steel pieces put in there. But basically when I get all the walls done, I go back through and I silicone all the seams again and make sure that I got all the screw holes covered. And basically, yeah, I just want to make sure it's real nice and watertight. And it seemed to be pretty good. And there you go, how to install Tile-Redi Shower Walls. They're really easy to install. Actually, there's not much to them at all. I think just making sure that your silicone bead, especially on these bottoms, make sure you got a really good silicone bead when you set those down in there. And then obviously, your silicone bead on your lap joints is not that critical because you're basically lapped. But I did have one seam right here that I made sure and silicone really well, and then siliconing all your screws. But yeah, one thing I can say about it, I'll tell you one thing that I found though. I think it's a great product. It's really durable and you can't, it's pretty tough. But however, what I found out is in your plumbing walls, which you always have a plumbing wall in a shower, where you have a nail plate, don't try to drill into that nail plate. Like make sure and mark where those nail plates are before you start screwing, because I found, actually it was in the other bathroom. I didn't mark, like right here you can see I have marked pipe, and I know it comes across here and then comes down. So I avoided screwing in this section. But in the other one I wasn't paying attention. And I had a lot of the piece I had screwed, and then I screwed a screw into the nail plate. Well, this stuff is actually pretty tough. And this stuff's pretty tough. So when the screw went into the nail plate, it actually pulled the board. Like normally if you screw into drywall and you hit a nail plate, it's just going to spin. It's not going to do anything. But this stuff's so strong that the board started coming out and actually started to crack because it was so, the screw pulled the board out and it cracked about a couple inches. But that's telling me, actually it tells me two things. Be careful with the nail plates, but also this stuff is really tough. And I think I'm pretty happy with it. It wasn't cheap compared to like Durarock or it wasn't that cheap. I think it was 12, I don't know. You have to check on Tile-Redi. I think it might have been $1,200. That included shipping for 2 bathrooms. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you next time. Later.
There he goes, it's a working man. He's trying to make a living any way he can. And he'll break his back for $1 or $2. Oh, there ain't no shame in what he do. Oh, work it out.